RNA is helps to move information about the DNA to tell the body, the cells, what to make of themselves. Let's say RNA is what tells the body that in this place grow a nail, in this place grow a bone, in this place grow skin, in this place grow hair. That's RNA. So if the vaccine is an RNA, that means that it has power to manipulate the genetic structure of a human being. So we need more information on that, an RNA vaccine. Second of all is the 5G technology. We all know that radiation is radiation. When you go to an X-ray, the doctors protect themselves, and it's clear that radiation is radiation, and radiation causes cancer. What is cancer? You know, mutation of cells, which means that radiation can communicate to cells and lead to mutations. That's what X-rays do. So when people talk about 5G, they're talking about a technology that has potential to cause mutation. Now, if the vaccine is helping to minimize the mutation that's going to be brought about by the new technology, you need to give people that information so that we are in on the tests with the vaccine and we are sure that the resulting product is not a threat to the continuity of humanity. This is very important. The future of humanity is also important, and we have to be in on the deal, all of us, most especially Africa, which I represent. If we have discovered a new technology that will, for instance, help us live longer, 200 years instead of 100 years, but it can't be a dictate of a few informed while the rest remain ignorant, being fooled with a man-made virus from, again, genetic mutation, because this virus was developed. If it came from a bat, there's no way it transferred to a human immediately. You had to go through processes of different animals and use the market, but that's garbage. These are patented viruses. We know they are man-made, but it could be a small, simple flu being used to hide the bigger question. Maybe because you think people won't understand it, but you'll be surprised what people will understand if given the information and the advantages. So the reason that you're hiding this knowledge could mean that the technology are just meant to end humanity. Most especially if they are being pushed by figureheads, faces that come from backgrounds of eugenics, Planned Parenthood, and have talked about population decrease as answers to the poverty on Earth, instead of production, instead of true things, instead of going to Mars and conquering Mars and distributing the numbers fairly, conquering the universe. And that's the problem, again, that I tell you, of us, the individuals, ignoring our role in society and delegating it to these people. Because much as in the beginning these people might have meant well with the vaccines and for Africa, there is a devil in each and every individual. And that devil is overwhelming, is strong. And that devil can lead to such manipulations where someone thinks they're doing good for the people, but they're actually hurting the people because they're not informing the people. And yet freedom of speech is very important in subsistence. It's very important in individual sovereignty, because you have to give the individuals the information as a leader so that they can give you permission to execute. So we're not against 5G. and we might not be against that vaccine. But first of all, it doesn't have to be mandatory, because there are people who are okay with their genetic existence right now that don't want that future enhancement into the future human, if that's what you're turning us into. I mean, this might be conspiracy, but I'm just going with the story. There are people that might be, or there are better, so there might be better solutions for us to adapt with the new technology without having to mutate. Just a moment. Let me get my shades, because I can't see clearly. Okay, so the point with all this is you need to empower. As a leader, your job is to empower the individual with information. We need to see your light. Empower the people with information so that they can take decisions. You will be surprised how we'll support the technology if it's really useful to the future of humanity. I mean, history says people died earlier, maybe in their 70s. Today we live to the hundreds. We are seeing 50-year-olds that look like, the past 30-year-olds, which is good. Now, if you have technology that is going to help people live longer, there is no reason to hide it. But help people communicate longer, help the world be better. But then you have to be, if it's really good, then why don't you bring it out and tell the people about it? Sell us the good news. Hiding it means that this is actually a dangerous plan. It's a conspiracy to destroy humanity. And that's why you see we are raising up against it. It's dubious. We don't have the information, and you don't have the right to decide for all of us. It's wrong, and it will never work. No house will be built on a foundation that is shaky. And even if you forced it, it will never work. And you've also been warned in the same metaphorics that I use when I'm teaching people about individual sovereignty. The governments have become authoritarian because the people have become authoritarian. We have become authoritarian because, there's a correlation between epidemics and authoritarianship. Because, there's a lot of, we're in new territory that we don't understand. So we are panicking and we are anxious. So when there's no way forward, people tend to be authoritarian and can even become violent because we don't see a route to go. But we don't see a route to go because we have taken ourselves so far away from finding out information that we have been left behind. So we are now catching up with things we don't understand. And so it causes anxiety, and now we are panicking and we have become authoritarian. This is going to drive the leadership into also authoritarian leadership. Because remember, whatever you are as an individual is reflected upon with the leader that you see and you hate so much. If you want the leader not to be authoritarian, don't be authoritarian as an individual. And eliminate epidemics anyway. So that's why you see I forewarned in the previous talks that this is a time bomb into chaos. You've already seen people are starving. The middle class man has been destroyed. Businesses have been destroyed. In Africa, subsistence had been destroyed already. So scarcity. We don't produce what we consume. So there is not going to be food once export stops. This chaos is going to cause a lot of harm. That's why the lockdown also needs to be revisited. Indeed, there's no reason to lock down. You need to empower people with knowledge to understand that this virus will kill you if you're reckless. This technology will kill you if you're reckless. And if it's the technology, then develop the virus over 5 years and roll it out in 5 years. There's no need to rush and roll it out now. Roll it out in 5 years after we have tested and we know that the vaccine really works against the effects. Don't kill people. You have no right to kill people. Don't kill people. You don't need to kill people. The world is good with people. We need people to take to Mars. A world of 100 people is not, it's not fun. People have families. We bond. We grow off each other. So this authoritarianship in Africa, like the army is harassing people. They're beating people for looking for food for their children. This is absurd. They're imprisoning people, fathers that are working, looking for whatever, imposing curfews. Yet there is no transportation. Now you have to walk 10 kilometers from the market to home. You won't make it in time, and the curfew will catch up with you. Then you're beaten, your food is stolen by the soldiers. This is inhumane. This is not the way to handle crisis. And I think government can do a better job. We need more teachers than military men on the streets. We need teachers to teach people about the dangers of the virus, about the dangers of the situation, and through knowledge, you will empower people to do the right thing. But for you putting guns on the street and beating people is not empowering. You just turn people against you and you create more havoc and more. It's the wrongest way to handle the situation. We need doctors on the streets and teachers on the streets to teach people that, oh, this thing will kill. It kills. These are the examples. And the media also can do better. And in my previous video, I got emotional and I thought maybe I could make amends. How do we respond to this authoritarian government and the harsh military presence and all that? We need to reciprocate with love. See, that's the last thing they expect. Our weapon is love. Because love is the oldest wisdom and the oldest knowledge. To turn the other cheek. When you see those policemen outside, give them water. Give them some food. Let's show them so much love, suffocate them with love, that they will be so shy to beat anybody else. You see, once you're overwhelmed with love, it's hard for you to be violent. These soldiers want love. That's why you see they are harsh. And we have also demonized them a lot because we are ourselves authoritarian. So when you see a policeman, you talk to them with spite, you deal with them with spite. They are an alien. And they also are authoritarian and see us as aliens. That's why you see they treat us in these inhuman, demeaning ways. So the answer to all that is love. We need to love. If these pharmaceutical people and the technology and whatever have decided to destroy the world, let them destroy the world. But let's not go out violent and go straight to hell where they want to drive us. Let's go with love. Let them kill us, but let's resurrect in heaven. Let's be good. Absolutely and purely good. A light. Let them kill us while we smile and we give them our hearts, trusting them. Let's love them so much to our death. They are looking to make us violent so that they justify why we should die. They are looking to make us violent, authoritarian, to turn us into chaos so that they can kill us. But this is the time to be brothers, to unite, to love each other and to love them so much. If you have extra, share. If you can, have some land, set up a garden, and let's start cultivating some food during the little time that we have outside. And when the policemen come, be good to them so that they don't destroy our gardens. And the policemen, love your people, be responsible, and know that your job is to protect the people, because these people are your relatives, they're your brothers and they're your family. But there's little we can do There's little you can do to influence other people. So you can only influence you, change you. Accept Jesus Christ and go straight to heaven. So we respond to all this conspiracy, be it true or not, with love. And we hope for the best. Because that's what the people of God do. They might wipe out this generation, but they won't wipe us out because we are resurrecting people. But should we be violent, they'll wipe us out because we'll go to hell with that attitude. Let's take them to heaven and they'll see they don't fit in heaven. They'll see you can't destroy angels. They'll see you can't destroy sovereign, divine individuals. The people created in the image of God. You can't destroy gods, the gods of Africa. This is how our grandparents beat colonialism and all the exploitations of the past. This is why we exist today. Believe you me, millions and millions of Africans were killed to sell these narratives. Entire tribes were wiped out. But black still exists today. Because instead of violence, a few showed love. And they loved the white man so much that he saw he had no place in Africa. Well, when I say the white man, I don't mean every white man. I mean the colonialists. Just to be clear on that too. That's individual sovereignty. That's subsistence. And that's how we orient ourselves into the infinite future with responsibility. And that's how we contend with the suffering reality of what life is and find meaning in minimizing suffering unduly or undue suffering with no reason. Thank you guys for joining me on this 10th vlog of the Kenrald Experience. From now on, we build each other, we build the individual, we build the united Africa. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button, and engage with us in the comments. Let's talk. Let's chat our way into empowering the individual, into empowering ourselves, and seeing the world through ourselves and shining a light. Let's love.